People often ask me how I create the piano music on this channel. Do I sit at a piano every day and compose every piece from the first note to the last? The honest answer is not exactly. I understand the basics of melody, harmony, and arrangement, but I am not a concert pianist. Most of the music you hear on this channel begins inside a program called EZkeys 2. EZkeys 2 is a virtual piano, but more importantly, it is a songwriting and arranging tool. I like to think of it as having a very patient piano player inside the computer. It provides a large library of professionally performed MIDI phrases, covering different styles, tempos, and playing techniques. There are simple chord patterns, flowing arpeggios, soft rhythmic figures, and many other ideas that can become the beginning of a piece. But I never begin by randomly choosing a file. I begin with an image and a feeling. It might be a quiet room on a rainy afternoon, a small house beside the sea, or sunlight slowly moving across a garden. Once I understand the atmosphere I want, I search the EZkeys library for a performance that feels connected to that scene. The same chord progression can create completely different emotions depending on how it is played. One version may feel bright and hopeful. Another may feel reflective or lonely. Some performances contain too many notes. Others are beautiful but demand too much attention. For relaxing music, that distinction is important. The piano should be present, but it should never interrupt the listener. Choosing a phrase is only the first step. I test different styles, change the tempo, replace chords, and rearrange the sections. Sometimes slowing a performance down by only a few beats per minute gives the music much more space to breathe. EZkeys 2 also includes tools that help me explore different directions. Suggest Chords can offer chord progressions based on a particular style or mood. Songwriting Scales helps me experiment with different scales and musical colors. If I already have an audio or MIDI idea, Bandmate can analyze it and suggest piano grooves that may work with it. With Tap to Find, I can enter a simple rhythm and search for performances with a similar feeling. These tools do not make the final decisions for me. They simply give me more possibilities to consider. I might test 20 different versions before finding one that belongs in the piece. Sometimes I keep a suggestion exactly as it is. More often, I use only a small part of it, then reshape it until it supports the atmosphere I imagine. After that, I edit the performance in more detail. I adjust the length, timing, and velocity of the notes. I remove anything that feels too busy, soften notes that stand out too much, and simplify sections that sound overly dramatic. I may also move certain notes slightly away from the grid. Real musicians do not play every note at exactly the same volume or at mathematically perfect intervals. Those tiny differences are part of what makes a performance feel human. EZkeys includes timing and humanization controls, but I use them gently. The listener may not consciously notice the changes, but the music feels less mechanical and more natural. Then I choose the piano sound itself. Some piano tones have a strong and detailed attack. Others are rounder, warmer, and more distant. For this channel, I usually reduce the harder hammer sound, preserve the body of the instrument, and control the brighter frequencies. I want the piano to feel soft but not dull, clear but never sharp. When the arrangement is ready, I move the music into other audio software for the final stage. This is where I shape the equalization, compression, reverb, and stereo space. I may add a subtle layer of rain, ocean waves, wind through leaves, or the natural sound of a quiet room. These sounds are not meant to become the main subject. Most of the time, they should be felt more than heard. If the rain is too loud, it covers the piano. If the reverb is too deep, the notes lose their definition. But if everything is processed too cleanly, the music can feel cold and unnaturally close. I prefer to create a little distance. I want the piano to sound as if it is coming from somewhere inside the room, surrounded by air. Finding that balance usually takes several attempts. I listen through speakers and headphones, take a break, and return with fresh ears. Very often, the final improvement is not adding another effect. It is removing something the music does not need. That may be the most difficult part of creating relaxing music. A melody can be beautiful and still be too distracting. A chord change can be impressive and still disturb the calm. The goal is not to prove how many ideas can fit into one piece. The goal is to leave enough space for the listener's own thoughts. EZkeys 2 helps me reach the starting point more quickly. It allows me to explore styles, compare arrangements, and hear possibilities I may not have discovered on my own. But the software does not decide what the music should become. The creative work is still in the listening, selecting, editing, and knowing when to stop. So that is the basic process behind the music on this channel. It begins with a scene and a feeling. Then I search, experiment, arrange, soften, and slowly build an environment around the piano. What you finally hear may sound simple: a quiet melody, a gentle room, and a few minutes of stillness. But behind that simplicity are many small decisions and many versions that were never released. If the finished music helps you concentrate, rest, or feel a little calmer at the end of the day, then all of those invisible decisions have served their purpose.